Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in for my reaction to night 2 of WrestleMania. And Cena did it. He became a 17-time world champion, but I will get into that match later. I'm kind of going to do this in a bit of an order, but at the end of the day, it is time to get into it. The first match is going to be Rhea versus Io versus Bianca. And in my opinion, that was the match of the night. Bianca and Rhea, all praise to them, but Io still is the women's world champion. Now, going into this match, I will be honest, I was one of the guys that, I'll be honest, I did not want Rhea to win this match because it was like, Rhea again, I wanted to see Io have a bit of a reign as champion, especially with the way that she can go in the ring. And that match kind of reminded me of Night One's triple threat, where it was finishing move all over the place. It's triple threat-esque shenanigans, and all three of these women put on a hell of a show, and I really enjoyed this match because of the fact of it could have went either way. If you really think about it, you could have had it to where Bianca wins and she plays the storyline and into the Naomi, into the Jade Cargill feud. It could have had Rhea Ripley, the feud that she has with her. Rhea could have won and then Bianca would have got upset. But I was one that was hoping the Io won, and they put on a hell of a show. I think this match, looking back at it now and how the matches ended up, I think this should have been the main event, to be honest. This match should have been the main event because of the fact of all three women. It was almost like that Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte triple threat, where that match was amazing. And I think this match, stole the show, and it opened up the show and stole it. That was a hell of a match. It was back and forth. And the one thing I don't like is, why is Bianca the one getting booed? I still don't like that. I think it's a heel turn coming from her down the future. I really do. I really feel Bianca is going to turn heel at some point. But the way the fans have been booing her throughout the course of this whole entire storyline. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out. Is somebody going to get one of these two women going to get a one-on-one match against each other, whether it's Rhea versus Bianca, or Bianca finally gets the one-on-one against Io. I'm going to see how that plays out, but that match was amazing and it stole the show. I get that match A+. Now we got Damian versus Drew in the Sin City Street Fight. That was a good match in its own right. We had the rivalry from WrestleMania last year where Damian cashed in Money in the Bank after 5 minutes of Drew holding the World Heavyweight title. And it was kind of funny when Drew pulled out the phone and took the selfie. He pulled out his phone from his brother and took the selfies. They had a lot of table spots. I like the fact that they too were aggressive early in the match, whether it was the steel steps, whether it was, I think it was the part where Damian had the chair around his neck and he ended up turning into a choke slam when Drew was finna give him a Claymore. This match was, I think either one, it could have been just for whoever won this match. And Drew won, but this match was a very, very, very good match. I wish this is a match that's probably going to be revisited down the line, and it's probably going to be a title on the line. This match was a very good match with these two, with the rivalry, with the whole. I think he hit him with a couple of steel steps. They did that very early in the match. It was very, very physical, and the rivalry has been very physical. I get that match an A. Now we have Bron versus Penta versus Finn versus Dom for the Intercontinental Championship. And if you guys watch my preview, I wanted Dom to win this match because as much as Dom's getting booed, he's getting a lot better in the ring. And I had a funny feeling that Dom was going to pin Finn. And that's exactly what happened. Braun Breaker had the early showing where we thought, okay, this is going to be a dominant match. Penta in his first WrestleMania match, he had a very good showing. This is another very good match. And I think out of this, Braun Breaker is probably going to get himself into some world heavyweight title conversations. I think that was the only way for them to go. I don't like if Braun Breaker would have won this match. Where do you go from here? Penta, I knew Penta's new. I love Penta, but I just don't see where you would have went if Penta won this match or Finn. Dom was the only result that was made a ton of sense. Number one, he's getting better in the ring. They carry on with the Judgment Day storyline. And I knew at some point, one of those two was going to turn on each other. And I had a funny feeling it was going to be Dom that turned on Finn, and that's exactly what happened. Whether it was Dom, Finn hit him with a 619, and Finn called him. And then when Finn hit the coup de grace on Bron, and then Dom ended up frog splashing Finn and covering Finn for the win. This another one was a very good match. And I give this match an A. I really give this match an A. I enjoyed this match, and Dom won. I give it an A. Now we have Randy Orton versus a mystery opponent, which turned out to be Joe Hendry. I was thinking it was probably going to be the newly signed Rusev, but the way the fans exploded, and I was like, oh, whoa, when Joe Hendry came out, it was one of those things like, I did not think with the whole partnership they were going to pull a trigger and put a TNA wrestler in a match. But that is exactly what happened. I knew this was going to be one of those short matches that kind of wasn't going to be a lengthy one because it was all put together kind of last minute. But it was a solid showing. I know Joe Hendry, I've seen a couple of his matches. He can really go in the ring, and he showed a bit of that. He showed some glimpses that he can go. Randy Orton, I wish Kevin Owens' neck surgery didn't happen because that match would have been grade A. That match would have been grade A if it was Randy versus Kevin Owens. But Randy Orton eventually got the win, hit the RKO on Hendry after the match, which was kind of telling. I liked that match. It was a solid B match. I really did. And I'm a fan of Joe Hendry. I'm a fan of Randy Orton. I was just thinking it was going to be Rusev, and it kind of went another way. But I get that match a B. Now we have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Now, as much as people hate Logan Paul, I'm one of them that kind of dislikes Logan Paul. And I will be honest, I'm not a fan of Logan Paul. But the boy can go in the ring. And it was a very good match. AJ Styles coming out. Logan Paul, he's showing more that he's continuing to grow as a wrestler. He's continuing to grow in the ring. I love that damn, I swear I love that damn finisher. The Paul Exploder, I still keep forgetting the name of it. But that damn move is something else. That move is something else. AJ Styles, we know what he can do in the ring, and he's heading towards retirement. But it's still, in the match, he's putting on a very good showing. And it was the shenanigans with the typical Logan Paul shenanigans. Somebody's going to try to come out. Somebody's going to try to hand him them damn brass knuckles. But Karrion Kross coming out in that match, I didn't think that was going to happen. And then AJ Styles ended up socking him. And socking him ended up costing him the match with Logan Paul hitting a punch and then hitting that amazing finishing move for him to get the win. Overall, I get that match a B minus. And then we have Liv and Racquel versus Becky and Lyra. Now, I was thinking it was going to be Paige. I was one that was like, could it be Paige? Could they get the contract or could they sign Paige? She just left AEW. I was like, could it be Paige? But when we think about Becky, I didn't think Becky was coming back. I didn't think Becky was going to end up coming back to WrestleMania. But when you think about it, it kind of made sense is that Liv was the last match she had in that steel cage, and then she ended up taking a sabbatical and taking a leave, and she cost her the women. She got the women's world title. I can't remember, was that at Crown Jewel or whatever Super Soda, whatever the pay-per-view PLE they had at Saudi Arabia when Becky was dressed like a damn nun. But overall, I see why a lot of people say the women's tag team division isn't really more prevalent or thought of. I think the belts had a better run when Bianca and Jade had the belts. I think it was a little bit more of attention to detail to this title belts. I'm willing to And Becky and Lyra ended up pulling out the win in this match. But it's like at the end of the day, these women's tag team titles, I just don't see the WWE really starts to put a lot in it. So I will give this match probably a B- or C, C+ maybe. I just wasn't that much invested in the match. Becky came out and made it a little bit more interesting, but I give this match a C. But then we get to the main event, and I got a lot to say about this one. Number 1, I will be 1,000% honest. This match was disappointing. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, I'm not going to lie, the match was disappointing. The result was going to happen either way it goes. I knew Cody was going to lose the belt. I knew John Cena, especially in his last WrestleMania, was going to end up winning the belt. It was going to end up being his 17th title. But the way that match went down, we see John Cena with the whole cockiness, the whole swag, and the confidence, the all black, pitch black, because we know John Cena usually does a lot of things in WrestleMania matches and his interests. But Cody, I will say this, Cody Rhodes with the mask that he had on, that was dope. I'm not going to lie. That was dope. But when we talk about the match itself, I said it in my preview. I knew this match, it was not going to end clean at all. There was no way this match was any clean. And for it to be Travis Scott to come out, because honestly, I was thinking The Rock was going to come out, Stone Cold was going to probably play a hand in it to tell more of the story of John Cena turning heel, and we got none of that. Instead, we got Travis Scott. Now, I get it. He had the appearance at the Elimination Chamber, and he had a receipt coming to him for what happened at Elimination Chamber, but the match itself, it was a bit dull. I will be honest, that match was a bit dull. I know it's the last WrestleMania, and last WrestleMania for Cena, and I knew at the end of the day, Cena was going to come out of this with a win, but the way it went down, with the ref was going to get knocked out, with Travis Scott showing up, playing a part in it, and John Cena hitting Cody Rhodes with the belt. I mean, I'll be honest, I was expecting The Rock to come out to Hulk. I think the WWE dropped the ball with this one. And I'll be honest, I think the WWE dropped the ball with this main event. With The Rock not having any involvement in this main event, and it was the one that Cody Rhodes was trying to get Cody sold, but he ended up getting John Cena, and John Cena ended up turning and heel. The Rock, I think the story of this match needed to be told better as far as The Rock playing a hand in this match. And when we talked about the lead up into it, The Rock was barely mentioned throughout the course of this whole promotion for this match. Now I get it, they had the mic back and forth, but it's just the part of, I think the way the WWE told the story of John Cena getting the 17th title tonight, they dropped the ball. Because instead of Travis Scott showing up, it should have been a Rock. And for Cody not to have nobody come out in his favor, nobody come out to even do anything to help defend him, and Stone Cold came out earlier with the whole announcements. I was thinking Stone Cold, and it would have been a perfect story. You get Stone Cold and The Rock, and we know how their rivalry was in the Attitude Era. I just think the WWE dropped the ball with not having The Rock come out and play some part, because that's the one that John Cena sold his soul to when he turned heel at Elimination Chamber. I'll be 100% honest. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot give this match a high grade. I think in total, night one matches, I think we're a bit better than night two matches. I will be honest. Outside of the triple threat with Rhea, Io, and Bianca, I think night one matches were better. The night one triple threat, that could have headlined the show. Rhea, Bianca, and Io could have headlined the show. I think night one matches was better. When we talk about Gunther and Jay, even though that match wasn't great, but the story was told, I just don't think night 2 lived up to what night 1 had, in my opinion. Because I just don't, the way that John Cena and Cody Rhodes match ended, I told you guys it was gonna end up in some shenanigans. Something was going to happen, but Travis Scott instead of The Rock, and then nobody coming out for Cody Rhodes to kind of even the score. It was a crazy way to do it. We know it's playing into this John Cena heel run in his last run in the WWE, but I just feel that it should have been done so much better. It should have been done so much better. I wish it was. I wish The Rock would have came out. I wish Stone Cold would have came out outside of the announcements. I just wish it would have been more of a story told, because of what we had at night 2 of last year's WrestleMania. The parts of it told of a story, and it really did not in this match. Travis Scott, out of all people, was the one to come out and play a part in this match instead of The Rock or Stone Cold. Or maybe you kind of take a swerve and you do a Paul Heyman, maybe a Seth Rollins, now that they had paired together. It would have been a much better of a match and a much better of a way to tell the story of John Cena getting 17 versus what we just saw. I'm not a fan of what we just saw. I give the whole match itself probably a B-, but the story of it just, I don't think the WWE did the right thing with it. I'm interested to see how this is going to go with Cena with the belt. Is going to change the belt. I'm interested to see. I might start doing more of the weekly reactions to these shows, or probably do Raw or Smackdown. I haven't figured that out quite just yet, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I still think night 1 was better than night 2. That triple threat of night 1 with Roman, Seth, and Cody Roman, CM Punk, and Seth told way better of a story than what this match that we had the main event night 2 with Cody versus Cena did. But those are my thoughts. WrestleMania overall, it was great. It was still a good show, but I just still think it should have been told better at night 2. But those are my thoughts. Check you guys later. APW Sports signing out. Peace.